All right, welcome back to the stream. Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to get into a variety of topics, but this first topic, it seems like, well, congrats to Tesla. Tesla has produced and delivered an all-time record high for quarter 2. We talk about this a lot with all the different sales, all the different incentives that happen every single quarter, and it seems like Tesla has pulled through and delivered more vehicles and produced more vehicles. So we're going to take a look at it. But if you're just joining in, my name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best deal on Tesla at the best financing rate. So definitely hit that subscribe if you're interested. And today's video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link down below in the description if you want to support the channel and get access to the ultimate Tesla buying guide with all the best interest rates for financing your Tesla. So definitely check it out. Patreon link down below in the description. But shout out to Sawyer Marriage, or I guess we'll talk about Tesla first. They posted this earlier today, posted a news release. Tesla has sold and produced, keyword produced, a ton of vehicles. So you can see here's the results. They just posted it today on, which is a Sunday, a couple days after the month end close. July 2nd, in the 466,000 vehicles. So what's interesting in here is, if you don't remember, like a couple weeks ago, there was a ton of inventory just piling up, Model 3, Model Y, and of course S and X, and then all of a sudden it disappeared. So I'm wondering, are people actually buying? And it seems like that is the case. People are not afraid of the higher interest rates because Tesla did raise the price pretty recently, or raise the interest rate recently, as soon as yesterday. But I guess people are just not scared, and people are plunking down and buying these vehicles because probably people are realizing that these are just good deals no matter what, no matter the price, no matter what it is. It's just cost effective to buy and own a Tesla because of all the different maintenance benefits, not paying for gas, and just efficiencies and technology that Tesla has. But congrats to Tesla. You can see here Model S and Model X. Voice is very low. Model S, maybe I'll talk closer. Model S and Model X. Let me see here. Model S and Model X, 19,489 per production, and they delivered almost all of them, 19,225. Hopefully the audio is a little bit better. Thanks, Grant. Model 3 and Model Y, 460,000 vehicles produced and delivered 466,000 vehicles. That's pretty insane. Pretty kudos to Tesla for all this, because we've got a lot of inventory that has disappeared, and it's seems like people are actually taking delivery. And so of course we always love tuning into these earnings calls, and there is a earnings call scheduled for July 19th 2023, and so they're going to talk about what strategies work for them, what they liked, and also in the previous earnings calls they've talked about how they look at pricing and production every single day. But I do wonder, are certain things going to get brought up, like about how all these inventory vehicles, how they change the inventory websites, and how they've basically disappeared or sold. I guess we'll take sold on top of that. But if you're interested in buying a Tesla Model 3 or Model Y, definitely consider using our Tesla referral code, just like the one down below in the description, because if you use it on a Model 3 or Model Y or even S or X, you can get up to $1,000 off or 1,500 loot box credits, so that you can go ahead and get that for 500 supercharger miles on that. But here's an interesting topic, or here's an interesting pivot, because Matt Jung posted this, and as you know, Matt Jung has inventory tracking sites that track all the different models that are brand new across the Tesla trims, and you can take a look at it yourself, because there was a little bit of a glitch, right? We know that in the past few days there was like an inventory drop because Tesla kind of changed what happened with their inventory tracking, and so Matt Jung wasn't able to track it as clearly. But you can see, maybe he posted this today, perhaps the drop in Tesla US inventory was due to sales, so maybe they actually did sell. And so I've been feeling it. A lot of people, friends, family, people joining the Patreon link down below in the description, there has been an increase of people looking to try and get into a Tesla and try and figure one out. But I guess Tesla's not phased, because they just increased the interest rates from 5.69% to 5.89%, but we're going to talk about that as well. But congrats to Tesla. This is good news. This is strong. If you're a Tesla investor, you know, long term, this is good as well. And this is crazy that Tesla is on track to sell their 1.8 million vehicles or 2 million vehicles this year. But definitely some pretty interesting stuff. Let me know what your thoughts on it. We're going to jump into the next topic. But before we do that, this video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link. Patreon link, support the channel and get access to the ultimate Tesla buying guide out there with all the best interest rates for financing your Tesla. So definitely check it out. Patreon link down below in the description. All right. Harvey, thanks for coming in. Grant, thanks for coming in. Hopefully the audio is a little bit better. Thanks for letting me know about that. We're travel setup. This mic is, I think it's an Elgato. No, it's a Razer mic. You can see the logo right there. It's a Razer mic, but I'm going to invest and get a Shure mic for the road. I looked at one, like there's an MV7 or something like that. I think I'm just going to get plock down the money for that and be interested, be good. But if you're interested in winning a set of, you know, a channel announcement, if you're interested in winning a set of all weather floor mats for your Tesla Model 3 or Model Y, we are running a giveaway sponsored by 3D Mats USA. So head on over to our YouTube channel page, then go to the community section right here and scroll down about 6 posts is where you can find the video and instructions for where you can join in and win the giveaway. So thank you to 3D Mats USA for sponsoring, and good luck to anybody that is interested in winning and entering into that giveaway. In this next topic, of course, a lot of Tesla Twitter today is talking about the delivery and production and how Tesla has beat records. But what I wanted to talk about kind of how Tesla has changed their inventory strategy. Shout out to Paul Foss for writing an article about the Tesla inventory problem. But really, is it actually a problem? So we'll take a look at it, because Tesla has changed fundamentally how they stock cars, how they sell cars, from what was probably initially birthed to sum it up, from a made to order type strategy to an inventory strategy. And so this makes a lot more sense. And so why there's more inventory Tesla vehicles and why that's probably not a problem, and we'll talk about it. But if you're joining in, my name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it. So definitely hit that subscribe if you're interested. And so shout out to Paul Foss, a supporter of the channel and friend, and also Patreon member. Thank you as well. But here's the headline: Tesla quarter end inventory is up, but is it a problem? So if we take a look at it, there's a bunch of different things going back and forth, but really he highlighted how on this channel we talk about end of inventory deals and how Tesla at the end of every quarter releases demo discounts, which you can find on waitingfortesla.com. So here's a quick example of one. Here's a Model 3 with an over $4,000 discount. And so if you're looking to buy a Model 3, then this would be a nice deal to get. And of course, you can couple this with a Tesla referral code so that you can get your extra 1,500 loot box credits as well down below in the description. But there's a little bit of back and forth because, right, if you are a long-term Tesla shareholder, then inventory like this doesn't really matter as long as Tesla sells their vehicles and stocks their vehicles and delivers them to customers. But there are some things that could be alarming, like too much inventory could be a problem, because too much inventory, if it's sitting stale, then that will be a good indicator, as we talk about on the channel, when deals actually happen. When inventory goes up, Tesla gets antsy and they release incentives, just like they're doing across the world, and just like they've done in the current market. So it's really just like a macro environment or micro environment or whatever it is. But retail inventory is a strategy that a lot of the ground, and that's a pretty smart strategy, because people at any moment in time can't wait 6 months or 3 months or even 9 months for their car if they need a car right away. Like, for instance, knock on wood, you get into an accident and your car gets totaled out. You need a car tomorrow or even next week. So you cannot wait 3 to 6 to 9 months for a Model Y to be delivered in order. You need to take delivery of a vehicle ASAP. So that's why I think it's a smart idea that Tesla has switched from a made to order type of strategy, because in the early days when you ordered a Tesla, you ordered it, you sat around for 6 to 9 months or 3 months even, and then you had it, picked it up and delivered it. And this is good probably for cost efficiencies, but if Tesla wants to deliver more and more vehicles, they had to change their strategy to more of an inventory strategy, where they just have tons of vehicles sitting around so that they can deliver them when they can release incentives off the bat. But let me know what your thoughts on it. Let me know what you're thinking. Shout out to Paul Foss for this. Tesla certainly has changed their inventory strategy, and really it's not a problem at the end of the day if you look long term for a Tesla shareholder. But it does get a problem when inventory, as we saw, like Model 3 hitting 1,000 vehicles across the country in inventory. And also we see videos of inventory piling up. But as long as Tesla keeps an eye on it, which we know they do, they look at inventory, production, and order statuses on a daily basis, then they just roll out incentives like $5,000, $4,000, $6,000 off, and inventory just magically starts to clear out. But definitely some interesting stuff. Let me know what your thoughts on it. We're going to jump into the next topic, but before we do that, this video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link. Down below in the description is Patreon link. Support the channel and get access to the ultimate Tesla buying guide with all the best interest rates for financing your Tesla. So definitely check it out. Patreon link down below in the description. But yeah, thanks for coming in, everybody. Let's see what else we got. We got two more topics, because there was one thing I saw today that was interesting. But in this next topic, if you can believe it or not, there are people, and there's interest rates that get up to 30%. So just a little bit of PSA for anybody that is interested or trying to finance a vehicle. Hopefully you're not doing this. I certainly understand that you have to have a vehicle at a certain point, but buying a vehicle at this high of an interest rate, especially these vehicles, which I'm about to show you, just kind of doesn't make any sort of sense. I'd rather you try and get into a new vehicle that has less maintenance, that won't break on you, especially a Tesla. So that's why I'm going to making this PSA out there. But really the title is Auto Financing at 30% interest rates does exist. And of course, we'll talk about how Tesla has increased their interest rate and why it's still, even though it's high, it's still relatively good compared to the rest of the market. But if you're just joining in, my name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but definitely hit that subscribe if you're interested. And so shout out to Car Dealership Guy. He posted this quote: bad credit is very expensive. And if you don't know how to get your credit looking good before buying your Tesla, we've certainly made videos on that on the channel. But there's really a couple different things. Of course, you don't want any sort of late payments. You want to decrease your credit in terms of credit cards as much as possible. And also you might have to go through Tesla financing, because they are going to approve you at the better rate if you got bad credit. But quote, check out these interest rates down below. These cars below are real purchases by real people. So you can see some of the states down here, the highest being 30% on a 2016, almost 10-year-old car, 7-year-old car on a Jeep Cherokee. You can see some of these other states, but it's pretty much all 29 to 30%. And so hopefully, this is a little bit of a PSA. Do not try and buy a vehicle at this rate, at this financing rate. But I certainly get it. If you need a car, I mean, sometimes you're locked in, you have to do it, but hopefully then you could try and at least shop what a Tesla could be, because at least Tesla is going to be more bulletproof in terms of maintenance, and you're not going to have that much issues. But I certainly understand, because a lot of these vehicles are probably in that $20,000 to $30,000 range, and you're not going to get approval for a Tesla in the $40,000 to $50,000 range. But taking a look at the average interest rate across the country, you can see here's a report from Edmunds for May. You can see on a new vehicle, it is 7.1% financing across all different vehicles. But in terms of Tesla did raise their interest rates to 5.89%. Previously it was 5.69%. And so if you have lower credit, 680 to 720, you're still going to get approval at 8.19%. But definitely you got to make sure your credit is looking good at least 30 days before you try and apply. But Tesla has certainly raised the rates on this. But we're going to jump into the next topic. But before we do that, this video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link. Down below in the description is a Patreon link, which support the channel. So definitely check it out if you are interested. Thanks for coming in, everybody. Kenny, Mopar vehicle buyers love them 20% interest rates. Yeah, and you're talking about Dodge Chargers and things like that. Yeah, it's tough. I mean, I don't know if I would ever recommend this to someone, but I mean, I get it. Sometimes you're locked in, you don't have time to shop. But that's why we created this channel. We created this channel to try and educate people that there are better rates. Really, like, we've got the Patreon guy that has all the best interest rates for financing a Tesla, but really any of those credit unions will finance any vehicle as long as the vehicle makes sense for them to finance it. And so if you're a first-time buyer, you're going to definitely need to put more money down no matter what, and maybe even 20 to 30 to 40% down. In this next topic, we talk about Tesla inventory a lot, but there was a calculation done and it seems like Tesla inventory has hit an all-time high. But really, does that even matter? We talked about that really briefly, but we'll take a look at the stats before that. But if you're just joining in, my name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it. So definitely hit that subscribe if you are interested. And so let us take a look at this. So on Tesla Twitter, I saw this because, I take a look at both the negative and positive spins on everything. So shout out to Cover Drive. Tesla inventory increases for the 5th quarter in a row. Of the 109,000 produced but not sold, I estimate that 90,000 vehicles are in active inventory. Quote, with additional production coming online, it would seem that more price cuts should be expected. So you can see right here, quarter 2 of 2023 inventory is hitting on his chart at 90,000 vehicles. But is this really a bad thing? We talked about how Tesla has changed their inventory strategy from a made to order type business to just holding a bunch of vehicles out there across the country, because when they produce, people can get into vehicles more quickly, and then they can just turn on the demand lever, like better financing, more price discounts and incentives, and then people really start to feel like they're getting more value for their dollar. And so that's why we've probably seen a price or a delivery increase in the past quarter, because people are starting to realize that the Tesla vehicles have a lot of value, and then when the price comes down, that makes it a great buy. Couple that with a referral program that you can use on any Tesla vehicle down below in the description. If you use a Tesla referral code before placing your order, you can get anywhere from 1,500 loot box credits to $1,000 off. So definitely check it out. Referral code down below in the description. But really, this doesn't really matter. I mean, yes, it's a good thing to look at in a small scale, because if we're looking to buy, whether it's the end of this quarter or end of the next quarter, because the next best time to buy is going to be September, because September is going to be the end of the next quarter. But Tesla has, as we've seen already, has started to roll out some incentives in Australia and other markets. And so we could be seeing more incentives being pulled forward earlier, but Tesla has removed some of the incentives that they've put out. I mean, Model 3 and Model Y still qualify for the $7,500 federal tax rate, but of course that's not a Tesla incentive. But at the end of the quarter, Model 3 did come out with a 3-month supercharging promotion. So let's see if that comes back, maybe even next month, or maybe even at the end of this month. But it seems there's a couple of things happening on a scale for Tesla. I mean, we've got the Model 3 Highland that's rumored to come out. We don't know when that's actually going to be coming out. We've got Cybertruck delivery event at the end of this next coming quarter. And then we've got the end of the 2 quarters. We got September and December. So if you can wait, I would say it also depends on what vehicle you're trying to buy as well. Model 3 right now seems to have the best deals if you're looking to buy right now, $2,000 to $3,000 to maybe even $4,000 off. This is waiting for Tesla.com. Shout out to TJ and the team. You can see all the different discounted inventory that's actually available, because Tesla is going to try and clear these vehicles out before this new Highland even releases in China, because it's certainly going to have an Osborne effect, where people are going to want the latest vehicle instead of the old and busted vehicle. But switching to Model Y, there's still relatively lower inventory counts, but there also are discounts on almost all of the vehicles out there. So Model Y could get a price increase in the near future, because there's a lot of demand for Model Y. Model 3 probably will get further discounts in the near future as well. Model S and Model X, though, are different ball games. Tesla has something with this price point, and that makes a lot of sense for them, especially when you factor in the 3 years of free supercharging. That's a lot of value, especially in California, when electricity rates hit what, 40, 50, maybe even $1 a kilowatt at some. Not really not, but it almost feels like it will be hitting that soon. And then that can be a ton of value for charging your vehicle for 3 years, maybe even, dare I say, $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 a year, depending on how much you actually drive. So I can see that's why people are resonating with it, especially in the California markets. But definitely some pretty interesting stuff that Tesla is hitting at all-time inventory counts. But it makes sense, right? When there's that old saying, if you build it, they will come. If you build a lot of production, people will take delivery after you put on incentives and all that stuff. But that's why on this channel we highlight all the different incentives. We try and be up to date with financing rates and all the different discounts and everything. So definitely hit that subscribe if you're interested. But if you're just running in, we're going to jump into the live stream comments. But before we do that, this video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link. Down below in the description is a Patreon link where you support the channel and get access to the ultimate Tesla buying guide out there with all the best interest rates for financing your Tesla. So definitely check out Patreon link down below in the description. All right. If you're just joining in, welcome. Tesla has produced and delivered all-time record deliveries, 480,000 production and 466 vehicles. So price cuts are working, incentives are working, and so we could see way more discounts and way more incentives. I mean, that's my prediction, because September is going to bring around more incentives, and also December on top of that, because I can really see a repeat of what kind of happened last year and last December. Everybody was waiting to push off to take delivery this year because of this $7,500 federal tax credit. Well, if you don't know what's happening next year with the tax credit, it becomes point of sale for the Model 3 and Model Y if the vehicles qualify, and of course if you qualify as an individual. So I can certainly see a lot of people being aware about that, and maybe even trying to push off until next year, which will cause the same exact situation for Tesla this year. So we could see maybe a $7,500 discount coming up in the near future, maybe even half of it. Who knows? And when I say near future, like December. What's the best website to sell your Tesla? Sevelin? I actually made a video on that the other day, but try Car Buyer USA, but really it's local dealers around you. Harvey, you think the Model X will take another price cut next quarter? I would say $90,000 is probably the low end for a Model X. If you can get close to that, plus incentives, free supercharger and things like that, that is probably going to be your best bet. If you can have this number start with an 8, then that, I would say that is definitely where you want to be. But thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for supporting. Thanks for hitting the like button in the comments and everything like that. Definitely, if you're interested in winning a set of all-weather floor mats for your Tesla, check out our giveaway on our YouTube community page on the channel, and good luck to everybody that has entered. I think that this ends this coming Friday. We're going to